everyone, and welcome to another episode of American Songwriters Off the Record Live. I am Lisa Konicki, and we're coming to you live from Starstruck Entertainment on the famed Music Row right here in Nashville. And I'm extremely excited to welcome our guest, the extraordinarily talented Clare Dunn. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, we're happy to have you. Thanks for doing this with us.
Thanks for having me.
Like I said, we're going live. Did things like this still make you nervous at this point in your career?
Very.
Good, because I'm nervous.
The butterflies are there.
Yeah. You're talking to millions of people, we hope.
Yes. Hello, all millions.
So tune in. But before I get started with Clare, I wanted to talk to you guys and welcome you to the live stream and ask you to throw in some questions. If you want to talk to Clare, if you have anything you want to know about her, just put your comments in the little comment section. We do have a moderator. Her name's Catherine. She's off camera. You can't see her right now. She is off camera, but you can back me up, right? She's here.
Yes, right there. I was going to wave back.
She's right there. So get your questions in. We're going to try and answer them all through the show. We have Clare for an hour, so we're going to talk to her about a number of different things. And anything you want to know, get them in. We're looking forward to hearing from you guys. Well, thanks again for being here. Looking forward to it.
Yes, me too.
We're going to get into your album, It's This Kind of Light, the EP.
Yes.
We talked about calling it album versus EP, but this is an EP. We have 5 songs on it. We'll get into that and we'll talk about it. But first, I did want to just jump right into your lift incident. You have been you talked to people and a couple of other things about the incident. And for those of you who don't know, Clare was physically assaulted in a lift incident. She was driving home with a friend. You were in Nashville in June. The friend got out of the car. She was left alone. Needless to say, he grabbed her, pulled her out of the car, threw her face down, and physically assaulted her. And it's a horrible incident. I'm sorry that you had to go through that.
Thanks.
But what I want to know is, how are you doing now, and how are you coping since the incident happened?
Well, thanks for asking. I'm doing good, all things considered. And I think for me, throwing myself into my creativity and into work has been really good. There was a period of time right afterwards that I would sit down, because I produce, and I would sit down, to produce a song, and there was a time where I just couldn't get anything to flow. I couldn't sit still. I couldn't focus. Right. So that was definitely something that I hadn't experienced before and was really affected by it, I bet. I couldn't work and I was really upset by that. And so, but I went home and sort of recentered myself, back to the farm and ranch where I'm from.
You went home to Colorado, yes.
Yep.
Yes.
And that was really good for me, and, I think one thing, just for me, I've realized is just no one is exempt from having a bad thing happen to you. And,
Absolutely.
Which is so terrible to say, but it's really, for me, it was just like, no one's exempt. You were in the wrong place at the wrong time kind of deal. And you just have to move forward,
right.
So that's been kind of the saving grace in it all, just giving myself the old boot and being like, okay,
onward and upward.
Get up and go.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I'm glad that you did talk about it and you did come out, because it is an issue that all women have to worry about and have to deal with. And although it's in the back of our minds, until it happens to somebody it's not real.
Right.
And if it could happen to you, it could happen to any one of us. So
totally.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, I just think that was the most important thing for me, in talking about it, has just been, what if this were to happen to one of my friends, because we all, especially in the music industry, we're all out, till late at night after shows, shows, and I have a lot of single girlfriends, and they are in this position a lot, and it was just important to me to speak up, not just for myself, but mostly because what if this happened to somebody else? And it shouldn't,
Right.
This is America. It shouldn't.
Right.
We shouldn't have to worry about that.
Unfortunately, we do, but we should not. Yeah. Well, thanks for talking about it.
Yeah.
And again, sorry it happened, but you are helping other women, so
thanks.
That's a good thing.
Thanks.
So how about we go to a lighter subject?
Hey.
Let's talk about your career, shall we?
Yeah.
Let's go way back to the beginning. Little baby Clare.
Okay.
All the way back, basic question. How did you get started in music, and where did this passion for music come from?
Oh, man. Well, I think it was just the way God made me. And I had nothing to do with it, really, I just loved music ever since I could remember. And when I was about 6 is when I was in my first, public performance or whatever. It was quite the deal. It was a local reproduction of Hee Haw.
Oh, wow.
And it was in Boise City, Oklahoma.
Were you in the cornfield? Were you one of those people?
I wanted to be, but I never got the chance. And I wanted to be in the Minnie Pearl skit so bad. But I got to get up there and sing. And I had a little skirt made of like bandanas. And then I had a big bow in my hair.
So
and
cute.
I was like all about it. And I sang a George Strait song. And I just remember I loved going to the little rehearsals. And I just had so much fun and just getting to sing and, hold that little microphone. And then I was just enamored with like the musicians, and I just watched them and sing. And so that was kind of my first taste of it. And then it just gave me such joy. Mm-hmm. And I was like, Mom, can we do more of that? Can I do that again?
And she said yes.
Yeah. And so that was really it. And then, I have an older sister, and she and I grew up on tractors, and all we had to do was sit in the cab of a John Deere and listen to music. And so that, introduced me to a wide array of music, and I just loved it. I don't ever remember not loving it,
Yeah. So were you listening to country back then? Well, you said a wide array, but so it was more than country.
Oh, yeah. We had either old school country we could listen. We had 2 stations.
Okay.
Where I'm from.
Where are you from?
Oh, southeast Colorado.
Okay.
And the Oklahoma Panhandle. My family's from the Oklahoma Panhandle. Okay. And so, excuse me, but there were 2 stations. One was a classic rock, and the other one was like 1970s and backwards of country music. And so it was maybe 80s, because you had some Conway Twitty in there.
Okay.
But and we just listened to anything we could tune in. And then, once we were able to start choosing our own music, I would go to the bins of the little local store in town, and I would just be like, anything I could get away with getting that my mom would let me, I'd get it. Mom, can I get this? And so, it was everything from, Whitney Houston and Destiny's Child to Waylon Jennings. My mom would be like, okay, now you need to hear some Waylon Jennings in there. And I'm like, okay. And I was like, oh, this is cool. And she's like, I know. And my dad, he had a love of rock and roll and soul music. And so I got kind of, all of it from just my environment.
From both sides.
Yeah.
Does anybody in your family sing, or are they musically inclined?
No.
No.
My mom can sing, but she doesn't like to admit it or talk about it, And but I think she can. And but other than that, no. My dad couldn't carry a tune in a bucket if you gave it to him. But so I was kind of an oddball child.
So when did the guitar come in? Because you're amazing at guitar.
Oh, thanks. It didn't come in till really when I moved here. Okay. Seriously, I was trying to mess around with G, C, and D. Yeah. But when I moved here, I was trying to make records in my bedroom, and I couldn't afford a musician, and I didn't know one anyway. And so I just was trying to learn, how to make records. And that's when I just decided I should probably I should have a tool, to do these things with. And that's kind of what started it.
So you taught yourself, basically.
I did. I took some lessons in the beginning because I felt so far behind. Mm-hmm. I wasn't a kid playing from the age of 13. Yeah. So I took lessons, and then it, kind of just got to the point where you just have to, sit and figure it out for 10 hours a day in your bedroom. And I still have a lot of figuring out to do. But
practice.
Oh, yeah, I hate it.
So what was the catalyst that brought you from Colorado, leaving your family farm in your small town and coming to big old Nashville?
Well, it was just my dream. Yeah. I just wanted to go make my own music. I had my sound in my head. I knew what I wanted to say, or I knew the end goal, the kind of music I wanted to make. And so I just wanted to strike out and do it like my heroes did, Bob Seger and the Eagles and Waylon and, Dwight, and this was the place you had to go. And so I thought, well, I better get headed east. You know.
Here we go. These are great pants, by the way.
Oh, thank you. They have sound effects.
Yeah, if you guys hear noises in the microphone,
That's
it's
me.
just Claire's pants.
Squeaking.
Don't worry about it. Well, I want to go to the audience and see if we have any questions. Maybe we can get a couple from. Catherine's going to bring them in.
Yeah.
See, I told you she was here. Here she comes.
Let's go.
This is Catherine. Say hi, Catherine. No, she's here. Okay, we're going to ask you 2 questions from our audience who are watching right now.
Okay.
We have A. Harvey Music. They would like to know, would you co-write with a fan?
Oh, I never thought about it. Maybe so.
Is that a suggestion? Are you asking? Are you offering there, A. Harvey?
Love it.
So it's a possibility. Okay, from Hallie B123.
Okay.
How did or does your family support you?
Oh, man. I think, they obviously still support me in so many ways, and they always have been such a moral support.
Yeah.
I think when I went to them and was like, "Hey, I want to move to Nashville," they were like, "Are you sure?" And then I was like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Okay, well, and I think just being there for me through all the ups and downs of the music business, and they're such a wonderful support team,
That's
day or
great.
night, anytime I need somebody to talk to, they're there.
That's always good to have behind you, just to fall back on if necessary.
Oh, I wouldn't be here without them.
Yeah.
So
shout out to the family.
Hey.
Well, thanks for those questions. Those are great questions. So keep them coming in. We'll take some more and we'll ask Claire as we go along.
Love it.
But first, I want to ask them a question. I want to just play a little game. You can put your answer in the comments. We want to see how much you know about Claire and if you know anything at all. So the first person to answer wins. And you don't really win anything. You just get bragging rights. And you know you're a fast typer. That's basically about it. But I want to ask the question. Early in Claire's career, she sang background vocals on a hit for Luke Bryan. What song was it? Go.
Good question.
Do you know?
I do. Well, no, I'm kidding.
Perfect. Well, while they're answering, we'll get back into my questions that I have for you.
Love it.
We'll just continue talking about your journey to Nashville and moving on. Actually, I lost my spot. So, see, live television, here we go. Things happen like that. So we were speaking about your family and moving to Nashville, but you're back in Colorado now. You're not living there, but you went back during the pandemic. Is that right?
I did. During COVID, I knew that, if I was going to be coming off the road, I couldn't just live in my house for a year and bless everyone's hearts. And I felt so fortunate that I could go home to the farm and just be back on the land and be with my family, So it's been really fun, and I'm kind of having a hard time leaving all of that because I took my studio home or my gear, and I've got it all spread out over my parents' basement, and so I've just lived down there and made music.
And I probably weren't affected by COVID that much just because there's not that many people. It's a small town.
Yeah, I mean, we all
spread out.
Yeah, we make a really terrible joke, but the whole our whole lifestyle growing up was isolation. Self-isolating. Quarantine was no big deal for me, to be quite honest, because that was my childhood.
Right.
Alone.
So you kind of just picked up where you left off from being a kid.
Yeah, you're around the same 3 people all day, every day, and then when you're not around them, you're by yourself. And rinse and repeat.
So is it just your family in that little town? Do you know everybody that lives there?
Oh, there's a whopping 30 people in the nearest town.
That's a lot.
Oh yeah. It's like 6 miles away.
And do you know everybody? Everybody knows you.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody's
everyone
business?
knows too much. Yes.
They know what's going on. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I actually wanted to ask you again, as you're answering that question, if we have anybody from Colorado. I want to see if anybody from your hometown.
What's up, Colorado?
Type in, shout out to Colorado, but type in the comment section where you're from, and we'll see if Claire knows you. She might know who you are. You might be her neighbor.
Hey.
You do not know.
You might be my neighbor.
You could be. Any Coloradans? Is it Coloradan?
Coloradans.
Coloradans?
Depends on, I think, where in the Front Range you are.
Colorado.
To us, it's Coloradans.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see if there's any Coloradans out there. tuning in to watch. So you're in town now. You came back for work, right? To write. How's that going? What's going on with that?
Oh, it's going really good.
Yeah.
I'm just writing and working on putting together my next project, and just continuing to create, and in the creative process, figuring out what I want to say next and what's important to me, and writing about what's going on in my life right now, and being able to share that with people, and so I'm really enjoying it, and I'm here for who knows how long, I guess, a while, but I try to sneak back.
Well, that's awesome that you
Every
have
chance.
stuff coming up, but we do want to talk about what you have out now too.
Yeah.
We'll do that next. But
Yeah.
Catherine, do we have any winners for the Luke Bryan question? We have a winner. And again, you get nothing but bragging rights. There's nothing to win. Oh, this is the person that asked the question. Amy Harvey Music.
Amazing.
She answered the question correctly, and the answer is...
Country girl, shake it for me, girl, shake it for me, girl, shake it for me.
There it is.
I don't know if that's the right key, but that was my harmony part.
Hey, it sounded good.
I remember being in the studio, and I had the ears, I had my cans on, and I hadn't heard the song until I walked in the booth to sing it, and then they're playing it down, and I said, okay, cool. So where do you want me to sing? They're like, the chorus, and I was like, okay, and they're like, okay, and I was like, just to be clear, you want me to say, country girl, shake it for me? And they were like, yep, and I'm like, cool, here we go.
I'm sure it was wonderful.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
That's awesome. So all this Colorado talk and being home writing is now somehow leading me to your new EP, In This Kind of Light.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Why that name? Usually when artists name an album, it's a song in the list. But this is not. This is a separate name. Why'd you decide to call it this?
Well, it's actually a line from within one of the songs. It's in a song called Full Moon. Full as in F-O-O-L, like you're such a fool. And I wanted to name it that because I think this was a different light. This music was representing it was representing my music in a different light, in a certain kind of light.
Okay.
And, maybe a side that, people, I would say predominantly know me for the little rocker I am and always will be. But there was just a part of me that, I had these songs and I'd been writing these really cool, soulful songs with some of my good friends, and I wanted to show that. And I just felt like, we were in COVID and the world was crazy, and it was just the time to do whatever was on your heart, and not overthink it. And so I've always wanted to show that soulful side because I, as a guitar player, I'm more attracted to blues music than any other genre. I mean, I love Chet Atkins, and good Lord, I wish I had this much, of his talent.
Stop, you do.
But I just, blues and soul music, and that when those elements come into country music, I think it's a really special thing.
Yeah.
And just something that I've been doing for as long as I've been doing anything else, but I haven't really had a chance to show. So I was just excited about that,
Yeah, one of my questions was going to be, how is it different than the stuff you've done in the past? And it just brings a story that I think the first time I met you was 2015, maybe. You were on the roadside bars and guitars with Miranda Lambert.
Yes.
We did shoot backstage and everything. And it was the first time I got to see you perform, and you just blew everybody away. I mean, it was insane. It wasn't even like it was a country concert, so you expect her to get up there with a guitar and be like, it was a full-blown rock show.
Yeah.
I mean, it was amazing. And that was the first thing that stuck in my mind. And so listening to this album then, completely different take for you.
Yeah.
Is that something you consciously, like you said, you thought about it, you wanted somebody to see a different side, but do you just let the music lead you to create this kind of this album?
Yeah.
Or is it something you're like, no, I have to do this differently?
It was just the music leading the way. And it wasn't really anything, what's the word? It wasn't planned out.
Okay.
It was just sort of the songs were happening, and they were happening like that. And I just thought, I don't want to overthink this. I love these songs. I love what they say. I love what they say about me as an artist. I love the journey that they take folks on, and that was really the main, that was just how it all came about. It was just, that's what it was. And I'm a big believer that when you are ready to say something, when you're ready to take a musical journey, you just will. And then I think when that happens, that means this is where you should go.
You're supposed to do.
Yeah,
so
follow it.
It leads and you follow.
Yeah.
So do you think if we didn't have a pandemic, we would have this EP?
Ooh, that is such a great question.
Thank you. Thought of it myself.
I don't think so, because if we hadn't had a pandemic, well, I can't say that, but it wasn't because of the pandemic. It would have been inevitable, but I went through a breakup, and then I think dealing with that in isolation could have been a bit of a recipe for,
that'll do it.
These types of songs.
I was going to ask you if this was autobiographical, because just listening to it, but we'll get to that. You did, however, produce. You co-wrote all 5 songs. All 5 songs, and you produce it. Is this your first time producing?
No.
You've produced before?
Yeah.
Your albums?
Yeah.
Okay.
Co-produced.
Okay.
At the minimum.
Okay.
And this was actually the 4th project that I had produced by myself.
Okay.
Third, 4th, somewhere in there. I kind of lose track. But this was all done. This was the first one, though, that I had written every song and produced it entirely.
Okay.
I had done some projects where I'd maybe written the songs prior. Not that that really matters, but, this was definitely all done in Colorado on the farm.
It's all you.
Oh yeah, baby.
All you.
For better or worse.
So what's that process like? What are the pros of producing yourself and cons?
Well, the cons are, well, I can tell you a long list of those. The cons are being by yourself.
Yeah.
And
nobody to bounce ideas off of.
Yeah, definitely.
Decisions.
Yep. When a piece of gear is malfunctioning,
You want someone else to take care of that?
Yeah. Well, and 2, when I was out on the farm, I couldn't just run down to a music store and get something, so it would be like a whole huge pause in a deal. But I think the cons are, for me, I have a really, really loud inner critic. And sometimes she's awfully hard to tone down. So that's tough. And a co-producer can sort of help jolt you out of that, or like, no, man, that's cool, so that's definitely one of the cons. But I think the biggest advantage is that in reverse. You don't have to filter anybody else. You don't have to filter other thoughts, or, you don't have to be clogged up. Not that you would be, but you just get to be truly pure with your vision, and however that comes about for you, and I really like that.
Is this something you want to continue doing, producing all your stuff, and maybe produce others?
I've thought about producing others.
Yeah.
I haven't done that yet.
Yep.
But I think definitely that would be something that I'd be interested in, and of course, I think for the foreseeable future, I'll always have a hand in producing myself. Maybe not. If depending on who wants to come around.
Maybe they won't let you.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. I do want to check in with Catherine. Do we have any Colorado folks out there?
We have Ohio and Florida and LA.
Ohio and Florida, LA.
No Colorado.
That's okay.
Colorado.
I've played all those places.
Come on.
I love it. Hey, that's just good enough for me.
Florida's great.
In the town of Two Buttes, I'm sure the 30 people who are there are out busy working.
They're on the farm.
Oh yeah.
They're not watching this live.
No. Or they probably don't have service on their phone to even know.
How's the weather there right now? I know I go to Colorado in the summers, and it's gorgeous, the hiking and all that stuff, but I don't know if I can handle winters.
I don't know that I can either.
Okay. Is that why you moved here?
Yeah, we had it's been wonderful to be home.
Yeah.
But in February of this year, we had a monster cold. It wasn't a blizzard, but it was a blizzard without the snow. It was like -30. We still had like 6 inches of snow, but we've had 4 feet before. I'd call that a blizzard. But this deal was so crazy. And I slept in my pickup for 3 nights straight with cattle, waiting on
What?
baby calves to drop, and because they can't survive very long
In that cold weather?
in those temperatures, and they're born wet, you know, and I mean, they just can't make it. So you have to pick them up in the pickup and take them home and put them in the garage and put a heater on them and give them a bottle, you know. So it was quite the deal.
You're a real farm girl.
Oh, yeah.
Genuine farm girl.
Didn't take my boots off for 3 days straight, and I have
Oh my God.
I have where they rubbed through my socks to. Yeah, I probably can't wear shorts for a while, even though I still do. People be like, "What is that on your calf?" I'm like, "Don't worry about it. It's a new thing."
You're like, next question. Moving on.
Yep.
So getting back to the album, what do we get? You said this is a different side of you, and we touched on you went through a breakup. So if for those who haven't heard it, what are they getting? What are they going to hear from you on this?
Well, I think number one is just, you know, like the song "Holding Out for a Cowboy." I mean, I think with every bad experience you go through or uncomfortable experience you go through, you know, I think sometimes in life we're so worried, you know, no one wants to go through uncomfortable things.
Right.
But it's a part of the process of life. And with that, if you don't sit down and learn what you need to learn, then that whole time frame where you were uncomfortable is wasted. Absolutely. And I think for this EP, it still is fun. It still is, you know, dealing with that element. But I think also, like in songs like "Holding Out for a Cowboy," that's the product of going through an uncomfortable time and coming out the other side with a realization that, you know, it's okay just to hold out for the right thing.
You're waiting for something better.
Yeah. And like with, you know, full moon, you know, you can't be doing them things in full moon either. So anyway.
So I was listening to it over and over last night for this interview, but
yeah.
And I love it. It's great. It's very soothing and comforting.
Thank you.
And, I mean, it just takes you through this journey. And I kind of felt like, and tell me if I'm wrong,
yeah.
It tells a story, basically, from the beginning of the end of a relationship or in a relationship to being alone. Is that done on purpose? Did you?
Yeah, I did if I were going to, go ahead.
Am I right, first of all? Does it take us through?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Did you do that on purpose?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Yes, I did. I was thinking about doing it in a different order, but the songs, the track listing, you know, I did that for that reason. But
yeah.
the EP itself is definitely about being in a relationship, or even if you did it backwards, you know, lonely alone, you know, you have that, you know, you get comfortable in that single life and you're like, I'm good. Yeah. I don't need no man. I'm fine. And then you meet someone and you're like, oh, dang it. You know, and then you know, go down that whole road.
That's right.
So.
It could go backward. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the whole story. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I do want to check out there, Catherine, and see if actually, do we have any questions for Claire from our viewers? And while I'm going to ask these questions, I do want to ask you guys if you have heard Claire's CD. Type in the comment section if you have a favorite song on there, what you're listening to, or even if just your favorite Claire song overall. We'll take either one.
Yeah.
We do have one from Live Love Music 32. She said, been loving good, love bad. What's the story behind that song?
Oh, hey.
Well, I was going to get to that. No,
don't be stealing a thunder now, all right?
That's awesome. That was Michael, our producer. He's just throwing his voice out here and making us do things that we weren't planning on doing. But go ahead. You can tell the story behind that song. Who's this? Live Love
Music 32.
Love it. Live Love Music 32. Thank you. That song is really just about, you know, I have this thing where I feel silly explaining my songs, so you have to bear with me. But it really is just, you know, about looking at that certain someone and just having the confidence to say, you know, I can tell you've been mistreated before, and I think that I could help change that. And, you know, I have some good love, and you look like you need it bad. So that's pretty much what that one's about.
Dang, you tell him, girl.
Well, hey, I mean, you know, I
hear you.
Mm-hmm. I enjoy it when a man has such confidence, you know, to me. So.
Good question. Great question. Here's another one from Jen Miller says hi.
Hello,
What?
Jen Miller. Hi.
What is your production process?
Oh, that's her name.
Yes, Jen. That's
Oh, I thought she said.
from
I
at
thought
Jen
you
Miller.
were saying Jen Miller said
And
hi.
she says hi too.
Okay.
Yeah, she does both.
Love it.
But she wants to know, what is your production process?
Oh, it is all. That was a good toss,
Thank
by
you.
the way.
That was good, right?
That was
Right
really
to
good.
Michael.
That had some that had some conviction behind
Right?
it. It's different. Every song, every record. Sometimes it's just all a giant mess for me most times, and no two songs come together the same way. It's just following the inspiration, really.
Yeah.
And I'm inspired by different things, but usually it starts with a rough outline, and then I start building on top of there. But that's really about as much of a process as I have.
As you have. I was actually going to ask that question about the songwriting process, because we are American songwriters. So I
Yes.
figured we should talk about
Yes.
songwriting. But you mentioned you're inspired by a lot. I was going to ask you what your inspiration is for songwriting. But is it things that happen to you? Does it just come up in your head, dreams? Does it come from anywhere, your inspiration?
Oh, definitely. It comes from everywhere. And I think this past year, having gone back to the farm and ranch, we've seen that we can live our lives differently. I think that's one of the blessings
Absolutely.
of this past year is, for me as a songwriter, my tank gets empty when I don't go out and live life. And when I'm just seeing the backstage of a venue and then the inside of my house and then the inside of a writer's room, there's really not much life in between those things.
Right.
And the experiences that really make life and make music worth writing about. And so I think for me, this past year, getting to go have some life experiences, live a life, has really been refreshing to my songwriting. But
Yeah.
I mean, it comes from everywhere. It could come from a hot date one night. It could come from, a newspaper or an article, or it could come from, not everything I write is about my life. And sometimes I really enjoy those songs when I don't have like a personal attachment and I can just, write and have fun creatively.
I can't wait to hear this hot date song that
Hey,
you're going to write. That's coming up.
There might be several.
Here's a question from @RosaBeats.
All right.
What is the first song you learned on guitar?
What is the first song? Oh, I think it was Brown Eyed Girl. Don't ask me to play it.
Can you play it?
Hey, where do we go? Days when the rains came down in the hollow. Was that right? Playing a new
Yes.
game. Yeah, that one.
Exactly it.
You, my brown-eyed girl. Yeah, something like that.
Perfect. And do you have, actually one more question before we go to break. Michael's telling me we have to wrap for break. What music are you listening to these days?
Oh, everything. I'm really listening to a lot of old country
Old country?
and old rock and roll.
Like old, like Johnny Cash?
No, sorry. Like Johnny Lee.
Oh. Oh.
Looking for love in all the wrong places.
You don't want me to sing.
Urban
Keep going.
cowboy type stuff.
Okay.
Honestly.
That's awesome. Well, thanks for the questions. Those are great questions again. Keep them coming in. We're just going to take a short break here. And don't go away. We'll be right back with Clare Dunn. Hey, and welcome back to American Songwriters Off the Record Live. We're here with Clare Dunn. We're going to start this segment off by playing a game. It's cool. Are you up for games?
Up for it.
Okay.
Always.
We're calling it, behind the scenes, we're calling it the covers game. It's a stupid name, but we don't know what else to call it. So if you guys have any ideas, jot them down in the comments section. Catherine will shout out some ideas for this game. But what it basically is I'm just going to toss out some songs because you are a master guitar player.
Oh,
I mean,
I don't feel like that.
Some compare you to John Mayer. Is that a compliment?
what?
Yes.
People compare me to
Yes.
John Mayer?
Yes.
Oh, dear Lord.
She is amazing on guitar. So.
John's probably mortified if he ever hears that.
No.
Thank you.
So what I want to do is I want
Yeah.
to just toss out some songs and
Okay.
see if you can play them.
Okay.
And we're going to try and stump her. I don't think we can, but we'll give it a shot.
I'm in a weird tuning though, by the way, so don't come at me for being like dropped down, okay? I know how you guitar aficionados be, all right?
Go
I
easy
love
on
you.
it. Go easy on it. Okay, you ready?
Yes.
You ready to play?
I think so.
Let's start with Aerosmith's Walk This Way.
Oh, there it is. Ah. Anyway, God, I forgot.
there it
Here,
is.
hold on. Let me redeem myself. Yeah. Anyway,
There it is.
there's your lick.
There it is.
No.
Very nice. Very nice.
I should go and listen to these songs again.
Well, we wanted to.
I'm gonna be like playing this all day long. I'm like, God, Claire.
We'll see you on your TikTok trying to get it.
Yeah.
Well, we wanted to stump you, so that's why we didn't give you this list ahead of time. So, how about ZZ Top's La Graine?
Thank you.
There it is.
Rumors going round in that Texas town. There you go.
Nicely done. Nicely done. About that shack outside La Graine. All right, we got another one for you.
Yeah.
Dwight Yoakam's Fast as You.
Oh, I always play Pretty
Woman.
Oh,
Kind of the same, isn't it?
it is the same. And I was okay.
There it is.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. Maybe I'll be fast as you. Maybe I'll break hearts too. I'll be the one who's tough. You'll be the one who's got it rough. Maybe I'm gonna start tonight and do things right. Oh, so good.
There it is.
There you go.
I love it. I could sit here all day and play this game. How about AC/DC's Back in Black?
With the acoustic. There you go.
Notice these are all rock songs because
Love it.
I know how you rock out. Led Zeppelin's Black Dog.
Oh, is that right?
I wouldn't know. There it is.
Yeah, anyway, there you go.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Lenny Kravitz's American Woman.
Ooh. I have to get it in my head. Something like that.
Sounded like it to me. That's great.
This is like different on acoustic. It's like no, you know. I'm like.
Is it played differently on acoustic than?
No,
it
it's
is?
just you know
the
you don't have
sound?
100
Yeah.
watts behind you. You know.
Eric Clapton's Cocaine.
Oh. If you wanna hang out, you got to take her out. Cocaine. There you go.
That was great. And
Oh,
now
thank you.
We're gonna mess you up again because now we've got Roy Orbison's Pretty Woman,
Oh.
which you kind of played when you were doing.
Ah. Anyway, somewhere in there.
That's.
Pretty woman.
And last but certainly not least, Steve Miller's The Joker.
I don't even know that I do know that one.
What?
Some people call me the Space Cowboy.
Did we stump her?
I think you did. Oh.
No, that kind of.
That's Fly Like an Eagle.
Oh. That sounds-
I don't know.
All right, we'll take it.
Okay, stumped
That was
me. I'm
good.
sorry.
No, we'll give it to
You
you.
got me on that one.
We'll give it to you. That was awesome. You nailed them. I mean, do you
thank
sit
you.
at home and play these all the time?
No, I don't.
No.
No, I don't sit and practice at all.
You don't?
No, I work on like whatever,
Just comes-
whatever like I'm doing.
awesome.
You know.
Yeah.
I heard you've been having a hard time. You know.
Yeah.
Whatever I'm writing, that's the only
That's
thing
what
I
you're
know.
playing?
That's all I know at that day. Like that day, that's the only song every other song that I've ever learned. It's like, you know,
forget.
when people ask you, like, what's your favorite song?
Oh, yes.
And then, you know, that, like, meme, it's like, on any other day, I have 12,682 of my favorite songs. The one time that someone asked me, never heard one song before.
That's so true.
That's
you
me.
can't think on the spot when somebody asks
No,
you
I
that.
can't. I'm like the worst. I'm like,
Well, we're going to do that later. And
Okay.
That's really going to mess you up.
okay, good.
But first, since you're warmed up on guitar, would
Yeah.
love it if you would play one of your songs for me.
Oh, I would love to.
What do you want to do?
I'll do Holding Out for a Cowboy.
Okay. And is that's the current release?
Yeah, it's my current single. We just shot a video for it, which is really cool.
Oh,
so
nice. When's that coming out?
very soon.
Okay.
We're finishing up the edits, and
Cool.
you know, it'll be out very soon after that. So I'm excited for everyone to see that.
Nice. Looking
There's a
forward.
performance video of it now out, but I'm really excited. You guys can see a good old cowboy in there.
Is
so
it shot on your farm?
it was.
Nice.
I went home and we shot it and had a real cowboy from down the road come over and
Oh, wow.
help me out. So,
Is he a hot cowboy?
oh yeah. Would you expect anything
I
less?
expect nothing less from you. Absolutely not.
Anyway, here's Holding Out for a Cowboy. Done playing these city boy games. Done chasing those red-eye planes. And killing myself to reheat a flame. Done wondering who's on his line. And what he's doing with all his time. And if I'm good enough for him to be mine. I just need a love that's simple. He could wear a Stetson or resistor. Cause I'm needing something good down to the core. Who keeps it easy to love like Sunday morning. The strong and silent type who makes me his first choice. That's why I'm holding out for a cowboy. Blue jeans and riding his horse. Rough hands and a real strong pour. Throwing a good woman and he don't need much more. God, I know he exists, so I'll keep on waiting on him. My salt of the earth, gentleman. I need something to last forever, like boots and good leather. Yeah, I'm needing something good down to the core. Who keeps it easy to love like Sunday morning. The strong and silent type who makes me his first choice. That's why I'm holding out for a cowboy. Yeah. Yeah. Holding out for a cowboy. Yeah. Oh, I'll be damned. Look who's walking up to me. And he's even better than he was in my dreams. He must have known that I needed something good down to the core. Who keeps it easy to love like Sunday morning. He's the strongest silent type, and he makes me his first choice. So worth holding out for a cowboy. Yeah, it was so worth holding out for a cowboy. It was so worth holding out for a cowboy.
Yeah. That was awesome.
Thank you.
God,
Thank you
I
very
love that
much.
song. I love this EP. I was going to I keep calling it an album.
That's all good. It's all good.
It's fantastic. But Michael's telling me that we're going to go for a break, so we will be back shortly with more of Clare Dunn. Welcome back to American Songwriters Off the Record Live. We're here with Clare Dunn. You just saw an amazing performance of Holding Out for a Hero. For a cowboy.
That's okay.
I
Close
was thinking
enough.
of, what was that, Denise Williams?
Yeah.
I'm holding out for a hero.
Holding out for a hero.
There it is. Holding out for a cowboy. But before we go, we're going to wrap in a little bit, but I did want to play that game that I told you about. We're going to try and, when you said you can't think of something on the spot?
Oh, Lord.
We're going to do exactly that to you.
Okay.
How's that?
Okay,
You ready
amazing.
for that?
Sounds
we
good.
call this rapid fire, another name that we just threw out there. So feel free to change it for us if you have any ideas.
Love it.
All right, I'm going to throw out just random stuff off the top of your head. Anything. You don't have to think about it if you don't want to, but just off the top of your head. Because we want to know more about you. This is
All
us
right.
getting to know Clare Dunn.
Got it.
How's
Got
that?
it. That's
Okay.
a scary proposition.
Yes. We might know too much now.
Yes.
Okay, you ready?
Yep.
What are you binge watching?
Ozark.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yep.
Morning person or night person?
Both.
Oh, look at you. First job,
Tractor driver.
of course. Favorite movie or movies? Here's where we stump you.
Ooh, Man from Snowy River, Dances with Wolves, Tombstone.
Nice.
Yeah.
Favorite song to play on the guitar?
It varies. Right now, I'd say it's either my song "Good Love Bad," "Holding Out for Cowboy," or "Nobody's Fault but Mine." Led Zeppelin.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee. Both. Coffee in the morning, tea by noon.
Favorite superhero? don't like-
Cowboys?
You don't like superheroes?
I do. I love superheroes, but I like real ones.
Oh, nice. That was clever.
Yeah, I should write that later.
I'm in the room. Summer or winter?
Oh, summer. Both. They have no summer.
So, guitar or drums?
Man, if I could play drums, I would drop the guitar so fast.
Oh,
I
see,
can't,
I
man.
put that in there for you just as an easy one.
No, secretly, I wish I could play drums so bad.
Okay.
I think it's like what I'm gonna do when I retire, like someday, which will be never. But
You gonna take up the drums?
yeah, I need a solid teacher. Yep.
Perfect drink. Favorite drink.
Oh.
Not perfect drink.
I'm all about anything from beer to wine.
There you go.
I'm really not picky, but I drink probably more wine than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Worst subject in school?
We had a little home ec class.
You
I
are
don't know if they teach those anymore, but I went
don't
to
think
such
they
a
do.
small farm school, and home ec was definitely it. And I'm like, yo, lady, I'm not a good cook. This is not going to,
You're not going to be domesticated?
not really.
Best subject in school?
History,
Cats or dogs?
both.
Favorite food?
Steak,
First thing you notice about someone when you
Eyes.
meet them? Eyes.
eyes.
Describe yourself in 3 words.
Free, spirit, grounded.
Nice. City or country?
Country.
Weirdest thing you've ever eaten? Weirdest. In case I didn't enunciate.
What are them things? The things that come in the shell, not mussels, but oysters.
Oysters. Yeah, those are gross. Last Halloween costume.
Stevie Nicks.
Do you have pictures?
Now here you go again, you say. No,
love
I don't have pictures. I just have the song. I do have pictures, actually.
Most used emoji.
The one where either this one, like the rock on one,
Yeah.
or the one where it's the facial expression of that.
Of rocking out, yeah.
Yeah.
LA or New York?
Ooh, happy medium, Colorado.
There you go. And you pretty much answered this with your favorite food, but steak or lobster?
Steak.
Steak.
Yeah.
And who inspires you?
Anyone. Everyone.
Are you inspired right now?
Very.
By us?
Yes.
All of us right now?
Absolutely.
Are we going to get some songs out of this?
Yes, absolutely.
Perfect. Well, I feel like I know you better.
Good.
I think.
I feel like I know me better.
There you go. See. Well, we're gonna take some fan questions. Catherine brought them out in the break, so you won't be seeing her now. Another fan question: where is your favorite place to perform and why?
Oh, that's tough.
Oh, that's
I don't know. I feel like I've played so many cool places. It's
Yeah.
hard to pick. I love playing arenas.
Have you played Red Rocks?
No.
This place is insane.
Yep. Never have. I can't wait.
Put that on your bucket list.
That's right.
How would you describe your fans? Interesting.
Oh, that is really good.
Wonderful people.
They are. Honestly, they probably know me better though.
Yeah.
They know me and my music I don't have to explain it. That's why I feel silly explaining my songs, because I feel like I'm
know
like,
it.
I know y'all already know this, because they do. They get it, you know, in a way that, I don't know. It's just like instant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that game we just played, they knew all that already?
I don't know. Maybe so.
Okay, and one more question.
Yes.
Oh no, that was, what is it? Dan Rosenthal from Carbon. Oh, this is not a question. This is our
Oh,
Colorado friend
We are Coloradan.
that came in. Dan Rosenthal.
Dan Rosenthal from Carbondale, Colorado. Good to hear you.
Do you know-
Or good to see you. I mean, I'm glad you're here.
Do you know where that is? Do you know where Carbondale,
I
Colorado
think it's.
is?
I'd have to look at my phone, but I think it's up in the mountains somewhere. It's on the front range.
Well, thanks for joining
I
us,
think.
Dan.
Don't hate me
Is
if
it?
I'm wrong.
Dan, tell her if she's wrong or not. Thanks for joining us. It's good to see a Coloradan. Coloradan, did I get that right?
Coloradan.
Coloradan. Dang it. Okay, so before we let you go,
Yes.
I do have one more question.
Yes.
Just want to know what's next for you. What's coming up? What's on the horizon?
Oh.
You said you're writing and stuff's coming up. But
Yeah,
what do we
so
got?
the video for Holding Out for Cowboys
Right.
coming out soon, so be
Right.
sure and check that out. And then I'm just in the midst of working on new music and recording and, you know, just excited for all that. So I'll
Yeah.
have new music either late this year or early next year.
Next year. Are you
Yeah.
playing out anywhere that we could come see you? Anywhere here while you're in town that I could come see you?
I don't
care about
think
anybody
so. Am I? I don't think so.
No.
Not right now,
All right.
but soon.
Well, keep us posted.
Will do.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Well, that about wraps it up for us. Thank you so much for joining us. And I want to thank you, Claire, for coming in and talking to us.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
It's my honor.
It was an absolute pleasure chatting with you. Thanks. Good luck with everything
Thank you.
coming up, and we'll see you out there on the road.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Heck yeah. Thanks, y'all.
Thank you so much for watching Off the Record Live. We are here from Starstruck Entertainment on Music Row, and we want to thank them for allowing us to shoot here. And thank you guys, especially, for tuning in and watching us and being a part of our big conversation with Clare Dunn. Thanks. We'll see you next time.